that they might affix it to their grand juries, and should they decide to affix their grand jury findings to our verdict, then that will be fine. Question number 6, is there anything that Dr. Manning wants everyone to do to help him? I would ask that you would simply not be afraid of your government. If you could find the courage to not be afraid of losing your job or your relationship with others because you've taken a position that's unpopular, that's all I would ask. Question number 7, are you aware that this new health care bill will exempt all Muslims? Well, I mean, this press conference is about the trial and going forward. I can say with the health care bill, as I've said over the last year, I find it psychologically dangerous, disingenuous to say the least, and hypocritical of any American at all, that you are treading upon psychologically very dangerous ground if you believe that Barack Obama is not a natural-born citizen, yet you challenge his policies, and in doing so, in effect, say that his presidency is legitimate. If you believe that he's not a natural-born citizen, then his presidency is illegitimate. And I don't care if it's the health care bill, a cap and trade, or anything else. Any bill that he signs is an illegitimate bill. Why pursue Obama in Washington with demonstrations against this bill or that when he doesn't possess the right to pass them? It is psychologically disingenuous. It is most dangerous for anyone to run up to Mr. Obama and say, we don't like your health care policy. You are indeed saying we respect you as president and we respect your right to sign into law. I've not seen anything as convoluted as people who continue to talk of his policies when the man has no right to be in the office. Number 8, how long have you been investigating these allegations? Well, I suppose since December of 2007. And that's all the questions that we have right now. Are there any other?
How did you proceed to do the investigation? What did you do?
How did I proceed?
I mean, what kind of how did you find files and a note about Mr. Obama? What did you do?
I think that a large part of what would be an investigation was pretty much common knowledge. And presenting it and having the courage to do so might be the best question, rather than how long I've known about it or...
That's not what I'm saying. How did you manage to find information? That's what I'm asking.
I still don't understand your question, and I'm going to answer wrong again because I'm misinterpreting something.
What I mean is, like, you were doing an investigation, right?
Who?
You were doing an investigation.
Initially, no.
Okay.
Initially, no, I was not. I became aware of Mr. Obama first from a spiritual perspective,
okay,
as I stated,
yes,
and that would have been as early as 2007.
Okay. But you didn't start trying to find some document that were proving that he wasn't the person he was saying he was?
Well, I think that over the last 2 years, I have posted up a statement about Mr. Obama at least twice per week. There must be at least 150 to 200 statements I have made, prophecies, pointing out inconsistencies. So if you just take all of the things I've said and put them in one, I suppose, journal, there's the investigation. It started the moment I started talking about it.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, everyone, if there are no further questions, thank you very much for your presence today. I appreciate your taking the time to come and be a part. I appreciate your taking the time to log on and have an interest in these proceedings. This is certainly civics class 1 through 110. And one of our intents, our purposes was to conduct this trial in such a way that it will be historically accurate and that can be studied as a model for civic classes on constitutional matters, and that perhaps or perchance early on it will begin to be reviewed as to people falling in love with the Constitution again. I heard that with the most recent nominees and the decisions being reached, if we look at the immigration status and the big debate going on, the statements made by the President of Mexico on yesterday, the sentiments made by Sonia Sotomayor prior to being seated on the bench, that America must no longer be an exceptional nation, but we must now begin to participate in the laws of other nations in terms of our direction. Is simply to say that the Constitution should not be the standard bearer for America, but we should consider whether or not other nations have laws that perchance we should adhere to. My friends, that is a dangerous road to go down, but we're already walking down it. And Mr. Obama is the Pied Piper that is leading us down the road against the Constitution into a more open dialogue in our nation regarding what is the law and what isn't. And there is a group, or are groups out there who would want to rekindle the power of the Constitution. When the Founding Fathers put together the Constitution and they recognized that there were some things that needed to be added, and they quickly adjourned again and wrote 10 other amendments to the Constitution, and I'm delighted that they did. First Amendment of the Constitution, the right to free speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, the right to bear arms, and the 10th Amendment to the Constitution that they wrote was the ultimate right of the government rests with the people, that the federal government was indeed limited. And I'll tell you the absolute truth, that reading through the Constitution, I spent more time there than I did investigating Mr. Obama's life. Reading through the Constitution and recognizing way back then that those men had the wisdom to see, never take the power away from the people, never give it to the government. Thomas Jefferson himself said, at any such time that the people deem that the government is no longer serving the interests of the people and are beginning to act in a tyrannical way, it becomes the responsibility of the people to rise up and to put off that government and establish a government that will be of the people, by the people, and for the people. And when you hear such statements, and now look at the matter that's before this court, before this nation, what wisdom, I mean, what God was guiding them when they wrote that Constitution. And my friends, I want to say to you, not for Barack Obama or for Obama's mama should we ever allow the Constitution to be trampled on. And the fact that people are not up in arms now, that this man has not demonstrated unequivocally that he is natural born. In fact, everybody knows that he isn't. It's just the people who don't want to accept that they've made a grievous error. Our Constitution is larger than Obama. It's larger than the Democratic Party. It's larger than a Republican. It's the very foundation of who we are as a people, and it should be guarded with all sanctity of life. Now we have immigrants coming in. We have Muslim terrorists because the leaders of our nation do not lean on the Constitution to protect us from Muslims, to protect us from the immigrants, to protect us from drug dealers. The Constitution would do that, but they won't uphold it. Ought to be an interesting few months to watch this process unfold. Thank you all very much for your time.